Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Renowned Zero and we're doing a video today on the CBR writers that are completely trashing Eric July and the fans of Eric July and the Rippaverse, what I think is utter garbage, as CBR does and as these access media places do. They tend to trash fans because they like something that they don't like and that's not mainstream. So first things first, CBR, you're trash, your website's dying, and your website's going to go out of business because you don't cover things properly. You like to say, oh, they're brainwashed. Shut up. No, the customers aren't brainwashed. The customers are passionate about something that's not complete woke garbage from Marvel and DC and all these other independent places where they get comics from. That's why they go to the Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and they back things like Cyberfrog and She and Starlight Cats and Inglorious Rekt, like I did. I backed those projects. I have most of them. Currently waiting for She Sakura. I can't wait to get it. That way I can read all the She books and get through that entire story arc. But let's jump into the video from this article from Bounding into Comics. Multiple CBR writers attack Eric July's ISOM #1 campaign, calls customers brainwashed. No, customers are just passionate, like I said earlier. Let's get into it. Two writers from the alleged comic book news website CBR attacked Eric July's ISOM #1 campaign this weekend. Both writers from the CBR site took exception to the pricing of July's graphic novel at $35, making a statement that alluded to him ripping off his customers. If you've seen what you can literally look at the product that Eric July is presenting and notice that it's high quality. That's why you're paying a premium for the product, because the story is going to be good. The comic is 96 pages, no fluff, no bullshit, and it's printed on high quality paper, and the colors and everything else are by comic pros who have been in the industry forever, who are actually really good. CBR's David Hart tweeted to one of July's fans, "You can go get Saga Volume 1. Saga sucks, by the way. Over 100 pages of excellent comic, $9.99. No, it's fucking trash. The Merry Deaths of Layla Starr for $13. Watchmen for $25. This isn't a good value. You're just brainwashed." No, they just like supporting good shit and people who don't spit in their fucking face when they tell them their comic books suck. This is, of course, the tweet right here, which got absolutely ratioed. No one gives a shit because these comics are dog shit. Maybe not Watchmen. I hear Watchmen's good, but Saga sucks balls. That's why the merchandise for Saga is always on clearance, because it sucks ass. Harvard compares the value of reprints of corporate properties to a self-made pre-order campaign, when it would be more apt to compare what Eric July is doing to Kickstarter or Indiegogo projects for the same length of 96 pages. One recent popular crowdfund, Skies of Fire, on Kickstarter, offered their basic books of similar length for $30, a similar price point to the ISOM #1 book. Mark Waid's Irredeemable campaign had a reprint campaign issue with its first issue, a standard 24-page comic at $20. I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't pay for that shit. I can go get that Umbrella Guys comic that's actually good for about that price, and it's 48 pages, and it's actually good. Which, by the way, he puts stretch goals that make the story longer. In comparison to those, July's ISOM seems to be on par with what independent comics charge. Another CBR writer, Anthony Garmuglia, joined in the attack of July, tweeting, "Just because I deliberately made it unaffordable to purchase doesn't mean that it's too expensive." No, you made it unaffordable. He didn't make it unaffordable, because if he did, he wouldn't have made $3.4 million and have over 40,000 purchases if it was unaffordable. You're just a broke bitch. You comic pros are always broke bitches, and you access media are broke bitches. One of the best superhero comics ever written, All-Star Superman, costs roughly $30 on Amazon when not on sale. It's 300 pages. Yeah, it's a reprint, you fucking bitch. It's a fucking reprint. Who gives a shit? It's probably not that good, because nowadays Superman sucks. Of course, this is the tweet. And there's another tweet that's retweeting Lady Rippa, saying, "Remember, friends, just because something is out of your budget does not make it overpriced." That's a fact. David Hart continued an argument with Eric July once the ISOM creator saw the tweets attacking his book. Hart accused July of picking on a nobody. You work for CBR, you total beta male, for replying to the attacks on his unreleased comic book. He also illuminated that there appears to be a policy at CBR not to cover right-leaning books. He's libertarian. That's not right-leaning. We don't cover Comicsgate either, mostly because both you and them are all anti all of the things we write about, because you're pussies. He tweets the site used to be called Comic Book Resources before it rebranded CBR, and one might expect that they would be writing about comic books and comic news, of which ISOM wants to qualify as the books has sold more than 50,000 copies from 40,000 customers as of this writing. Very few comics from Marvel and DC reach such a threshold in sales, which makes this one of the top-selling books of the year. This is true. On a live stream addressing the topic, July posits that CBR posts, I think it's post at CBR, is admitting that they're a political operation and they're not there to cover comics. Go bankrupt. No one will miss you. This hypothesis is based on one of Hart's tweets, which states that it would be like asking Bernie Sanders doesn't have a column in the right-wing publication. No one cares about your garbage politics because they're shit. This implication is that CBR is a left-wing political blog, not a comic book news website. Again, go bankrupt, please. I don't give a shit about you. If true that this marks a rare moment where the mainstream entertainment media admits its political biases, it appears as if there is a coordinated narrative being crafted by the mainstream media against Eric July's comics. July's theory, according to a recent live stream, is that companies for these alleged news platforms get access to Marvel and DC books and act as mouthpieces of these corporations in exchange. Yeah, they get access for trashing actual good stories and not trashing garbage Marvel and garbage DC. Well, trash. On his live stream on Sunday, August 21st, July said of the matter, "This is the top story in comic books because obviously of how many they sold. But look at how it's happened. It's the most organic story that could possibly exist because all his promotion is word of mouth and not marketing and advertising that Marvel and DC have millions, probably billions of dollars to produce, and yet their books still suck ass." He continues, "Not asking anyone to cover this shit, not paying anybody an advertisement. All I did was put the shit out there and I self-promoted. That's it." You can see pages here. With the success of ISOM #1 sales exceeding all but the very top-selling issues in comics, it is one of the biggest stories of all comic news. It seems dishonest to try to suppress the story by not reporting on it, which would be a disservice to readers of a comics news website. This is true. Fortunately, readers have Bounding into Comics, which will cover all comic book news regardless of the political persuasion of the character, which is great. I like Bounding into Comics because of it. They cover everything, even though they may not agree with the person, they still cover it because that's what you're supposed to do when you are a news source for stuff like comic books, which CBR is not. It's just so funny how all these people are basically room temperature NPCs who just follow the narrative of whatever mainstream tells them to do because they're a bunch of bitches who can't think for themselves. No diversity of thought. They want diversity, but they have no diversity of thought. They literally just wait for the next download or whatever garbage they're told to spew by corporations because they can't handle that a single person is doing better than the big two right now as far as comic sales. They have to consistently defend them and not talk about actual comic news. This is big news. This is why I like covering this, because I'm hyped for this. I was never a big avid comic reader in my day. I love the animated series of Batman, I love the Spider-Man, I love the Spawns, but I was never a big comic guy, and all I back now is independent comics because I see what garbage is being put into modern comics of my favorite characters, Batman and Spider-Man. So all I back now is independent because I know they're not going to give me garbage. And so far, out of all the independent books that I've read, like Blade Devil, like Starlight Cats, and things of that nature, I haven't been disappointed with my purchases. So I'm going to continue to back independent comics. I'm going to continue to hype the Rippaverse in pretty much every video I possibly can, if I remember to do it, which most of my videos I have been. And I will continue to talk about all this crap that they're not talking about in the mainstream. But other than that, thank you everybody for watching the video. I hope you guys liked it. Please hit the like, subscribe, turn notifications on, comment below what you think about this. And back to Rippaverse, I will leave a link in the description to that, my Twitter, and my Twitch. Make sure you check out those links, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.